What's up, YouTube? Today I've got a demo video for my brother Giuliano, and if you know this box, you know what's in it. So today we have the KR Saber's Desert Wanderer. Right off the bat, I'm gonna say that this is by far the best Kenobi show hilt out there. I mean, everywhere from the materials selected for the construction of the hilt, to the functionality of it, to the accuracy, it's got it all. So let's get into it, because I did do the weathering and installation, and we did utilize the Goth Eco CC. So I'll go over, taking that out, battery in and out, kill switch, and accent lighting, and all that, and weathering. So I'm going to start with the outside of the hilt, because that makes sense. So I did, use sandpaper to scuff up the grip and the booster section, as well as use chemicals to age the brass, copper, and steel sections of the thin neck and the emitter. Now, I mentioned the materials used because these are all, the solid metals and not just some chrome plated garbage. You're able to use patinas with it and get it exactly how you want it. So I tried to make it as accurate to the show as possible, and hopefully this kind of achieves that look. Kind of give it a little spin here. So starting at the top, these emitters are steel, so I did weather those with the corresponding patina. Luckily the brass and the copper are both one patina, so that was kind of nice. I didn't have to buy more than two. I've got aluminum black, and then there's the steel black, and copper and brass black. But yeah, so I actually ended up being able to get these pieces to spin, and I kind of took steel wool to knock back the aging as I was doing it. So it was a process of dipping, letting it sit, washing it off, putting some steel wool to it until I got it to a point where I thought it was pretty good. I left the darkening in this little crevice, because if you imagine a saber has gunk and weathering, the places that are not touched as much as the rest of the hilt are gonna receive the most weathering, or at least the weathering is gonna stay there, or the gunk or whatever. So crevices are darker than the rest of the faces of the parts of the hilt. In the prop photos that I was looking at, you see that this neck section gets darker at where it meets the grenade section. So I did try to, let me see if I can get that, imitate that. I didn't want it to be a straight transition from gold to black. I wanted it to kind of fade. So I was actually really happy with how that turned out. And then this is just sandpaper, just to knock back the outer edges of all these shapes in here, as well as down here in the booster section. And that's pretty much all I did for the outside of this hilt. This was actually my first Desert Wanderer, and what a joy it was to work on. So really happy with how it turned out. I really am addicted to just picking it up and looking at it. Too bad it is not mine. But one thing I will say too is that the fact that the emitter is steel, it adds a good amount of weight to this hilt. It's not the most comfortable to swing around, but it does feel more, I don't know, like a weapon, or like an actual piece of saber, for a lack of better words. So it feels good. It definitely makes me smile when I hold it. And I've actually got an 89 Sabers, OWK3, and another I think Kenobi Saber by SP Sabers that I have on hand, other projects that are waiting to be installed. And so I get to directly compare them, and so I like this one the most by far. Part of that is personal preference to this version of the hilt in terms of canon, and the show versus the movies, but also I think they just knocked it out of the park in terms of appearance and materials used. So I really think this is the best one. So if you're looking for one, this is the one. Go to the Saber Armory, get the Desert Wanderer if it's still available. Phenomenal hilt. And I really like the buttons that they have for this hilt. These are two, plunger switches that are nice and hidden in the natural greablies of, the saber itself. I prefer this because removable chassis are a lot easier to do, and you don't have buttons that are wired up into here. So it's just, it allows for a better chassis system. They work really well. It's very functional, aesthetically pleasing as well. So checks off all the boxes there. So let's get into the inside of the hilt. Actually, I think one thing that I will show first is this emitter. You've got the showpiece, or the show emitter with its blade plug. You've also got the blade emitter, so that when you're swinging it around, it gives you that bit more of depth. And I will say that it feels very stable, so I'm very happy with this hilt in almost every aspect. So if you want to put this blade plug in, what you want to do is actually rest it inside and then screw your display emitter over the top of it, and this will actually, if I can freaking do this, this will actually kind of clamp that down and hold it in place. As you can see, it's not falling out. Looks really good. I love just all the different steps and everything. It's just, it looks really good, and all those little holes. So I'm gonna actually take the blade plug out and put the blade emitter on so that I can demo with the blade in a little bit. So for now, I'm just gonna slap this on there and get to the chassis. So like I said earlier, we did utilize a Goth Eco CC chassis. So, took a lot of work off of my end in terms of designing a chassis and everything. So all I had to worry about was installing it. This unthreads from here and here. You really don't need to mess with that. You just need to be taking the pommel off and on. So once you get here, you can just grab it and pull it out. Right now, I believe I have the kill switch switched to on. Yeah, okay. So now it's off. Press the buttons. Nothing happens. And that position, if you're looking at it, is flipped this way for off, this way for on. I put one of the Saber Bay's new battery wraps on the battery. I think it looks really cool. It has like a dual crystal chamber. A lot of you have already seen these. It's not super uncommon. 2 resin printed crystals, and they kind of have like a teardrop shape. And I positioned them in such a manner that they actually kind of touch. I thought that's kind of cool. And then I actually did some rub and buffing to the chassis. I don't really prefer the gray color. It's not terrible, it's not like it's super ugly or anything. I'm not knocking it. But I definitely prefer this look a lot more. I made like a little bronze color. I kind of touched some silver in areas and high points and kind of all over the body of it. And then I tried to get some black in the crevices. But yeah, this is not too difficult of a chassis to install. Honestly, they give you plenty of room for everything. Separate wire channels for the top crystal and the pixel connector. So it's very easy, very well thought out. I kind of liked this opportunity because I got to learn a couple things and, some methods of doing things that I might implement in chassis in the future. So that was really cool, really enjoyable process. The 28mm speaker is fully enclosed. Oops, get that on frame. And it's set back, a good ways so that the sound resonance is actually really good with the Saber. It's just another point that this Saber is really one of the best hilts for a Kenobi hilt. It's just, the sound is great. Just everything is great about this hilt. I don't really have any negatives, really. It's got a Profi version 3 out in there. But yeah, let's go ahead and demo some of that accent lighting.
I will do what I must.
I tried to put, some cool little blade styles to mix it up, and I did, do that also to show you that these are independently wired, meaning you can have a blade style for the bottom and a blade style for the top. And in the config, the top, or the first blade style is obviously the main. The next one, the second one, is the bottom crystal. The third one's the top crystal. So that's how I have that organized in there. We got gesture controls. Let's go to the next one. Top button is your auxiliary.
I am what you made me.
So I'll go ahead and get to putting
I will do what I must.
I'm all over the place. I'll be getting into putting a blade in this thing. So putting the chassis in, you just carefully insert it with the buttons aligned with the plungers. And just kind of gently push it in. And boom. It just seats all the way to this lip over here. And then you can screw your pommel on. You can give the button a test.
Broken. There are not many leaders left.
People follow you. Don't stop.
Oh man, what a lovely hilt. Let's flip this camera around so we can demo with the blade finally. Alright, so when putting the blade in, you just insert it. You've got 3 different retention screws on this emitter, and what I like to do is insert the blade and then turn it on, and then I like to tighten these just until they touch the blade and go, you know, one after the other, kind of like, you know, lug nuts on a tire. And then I'll give it one more pass and tighten them and just get them snug. And then that whole time you're kind of just checking to make sure that the blade is not wigging out on you. So let's boot this up.
You're not bringing him to me. I'm bringing him to you.
So the whole rematch bundle is on here, so I figured it was fitting for this demo video. I've just got some blade styles that I made up with Fett's library on here.
I will do what I must.
I am what you made me.
Saber's pretty loud. Not necessarily a cannon ignition, but I thought it was really cool.
I learned that at a very young age as well.
Obi-Wan.
OWK3 is on here as well.
Hold on, Anakin. You're gonna get us both killed.
The sound quality is just really good. With that speaker fully enclosed, not only is it loud, but I think the just the clarity of the sound is really good too. And it is a KR Saber's 28mm in here as well.
Yeah, take this. Wait for orders.
I will do what I must.
Play some music. And it's got a couple of different tracks on there, but no need for really for me to go through it right now. So to take the battery out or to just flip the kill switch, you can just unthread the pommel, pull it out a little bit, flip that, kills the power. Or if you would like to take the battery out, what I like to do is just give it a little bump. It pops out like that. You can easily just pull it out. So I'm actually going to leave that in there for now. And then, you know, tactile buttons up, aligned with the plungers, you can push it in and thread your pommel back on. Very nice chassis, very, what's the word, practical. So really enjoy the Saber, really enjoy, you know, just everything about it and using it. So Julian, I hope you enjoy swinging it around as well. For those of you who have stuck till, you know, the end of the video here, thank you for watching. I've got plenty of Sabers lined up, so if you like this content, definitely like and subscribe and stick around because I've got a couple things coming up, but one thing that I'm actually really excited for is this hilt. It's a custom hilt. I can't remember who the maker is. I'm sorry, but when I do the video, I'll do my homework. But I really enjoy prequel era sabers. And this clan-esque hilt is definitely a really party saber. I really like it. And it's definitely really comfortable. It's all aluminum, so it's super lightweight. So stick around for this one. This one's going to be really cool. But other than that, I got a couple more lined up. There's a ROM coda in the works as well. So that'll be really cool. And that one will be actually up for a raffle. So if you like the character or just want a chance to win a saber, tickets will be about $20 and you can buy up to 3 probably. I'll kind of hash out the details and send out some instructions on my Instagram. So if you want to, follow up on that, definitely follow me on there. But other than that, this is pretty much it for the video. So thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.